Ladies and gentlemen, history has always shown us one truth. When one giant takes a wrong turn, another finds the open road. Today, America, once the symbol of unstoppable momentum, is making choices that create hesitation, division, and distraction. This is not just a mistake, it is a gift. And the gift is being unwrapped by India. When we look at the way global powers rise and fall, one thing is always clear: mistakes made by the strongest create opportunities for those who are waiting and watching. The wrong turn by America is not just an event, it is a signal. It is a signal that power is shifting, that the doors once tightly shut for others are beginning to open. And in this moment, the country most ready to step through those doors is India. America has always been known for its ability to innovate, to lead, and to shape global thinking, but now it is hesitating. Its energy is divided, its attention pulled in too many directions. While America debates its past, India is building its future. This shift is not about the decline of one nation, but about the readiness of another to rise. India today holds an advantage that no policy or trade war can erase. It is the youngest large nation in the world, full of energy, ambition, and drive. Every year, millions of young people enter the workforce, carrying with them the skills of a digital age. They are not afraid of technology, they are born into it. While other nations worry about how to adapt to change, India's youth see change as normal, as natural, as something to be embraced. This is the greatest strength of India, because the world we are moving into belongs to those who can adapt quickly and dream boldly. At the same time, India is making quiet but powerful moves in reform and policy. Digital payment systems, startup ecosystems, new infrastructure, and a wave of entrepreneurship are reshaping the country at a speed many outside do not yet realize. 10 years ago, many doubted India's ability to compete globally, but today the evidence is undeniable. Unicorn startups are rising, technology hubs are multiplying, and the spirit of building is spreading not just in cities, but in smaller towns across the country. While America hesitates on whether to hold its position, India is busy climbing the ladder to reach a higher place. Opportunities are not waiting in traditional industries alone. The biggest chance lies in technology and innovation. Artificial intelligence, renewable energy, digital trade, cloud computing, and advanced manufacturing are rewriting the rules of the global economy. In each of these, America once had a clear head start, but hesitation, regulation, and short-term thinking are slowing it down. India, on the other hand, is moving with speed. With its vast talent pool of engineers, coders, and entrepreneurs is ready to fill the gap. The world is watching where the next great wave of solutions will come from, and India is showing that it can be that source. Yet opportunity does not guarantee success. The future does not reward the one who is simply present. It rewards the one who is bold enough to act. For India, this is the decisive moment. America's wrong turn has opened a road, but that road is not endless. If India waits too long, if it becomes too comfortable in simply watching others, the moment will close. But if it moves quickly with confidence and courage, it can not only catch the open door, but also hold it wide for generations to come. The power of belief is as important as the power of resources. America rose because it believed in its destiny. It believed it could do what others thought impossible. Now that belief is shaken. For India, belief is just beginning to grow stronger. Belief that it can lead, belief that it can innovate, belief that it can build for not just itself, but for the entire world. This belief, combined with talent and timing, creates a once-in-a-century chance. The future of leadership will not be determined by who had the biggest past, but by who has the strongest vision for tomorrow. America's wrong turn is not a weakness for India to laugh at. It is an opening for India to step forward with determination and write the next chapter of global leadership. The global stage is shifting in ways that many people fail to notice at first glance. When a dominant player takes a step in the wrong direction, it sets off a ripple effect that can transform the opportunities available to others. America, for decades seen as the center of innovation, influence, and economic leadership, is beginning to stumble on choices that weaken its position. These mistakes are not small, because when the leader of the pack loses focus, the entire game changes. And right now, those mistakes are leaving space for another nation to step forward, a nation that has been preparing quietly, building steadily, and waiting for its chance. That nation is India, and the doors opening for it are larger than ever before. The wrong turn by America is happening on multiple fronts. Economically, the country is caught in cycles of debt, inflation, and a struggle to maintain its dominance in industries that once seemed untouchable. Politically, divisions are deeper than ever, consuming time and energy that could otherwise be spent on innovation and progress. Socially, the debates that rage across America often slow down decision, making the country reactive rather than proactive. These shifts create hesitation. And hesitation in a fast-moving global economy is costly. Every moment that America spends looking backward instead of forward creates a vacuum. Vacuums do not remain empty for long. They attract new energy, new ambition, and new leaders. India is uniquely positioned to fill this vacuum. Unlike many nations, it is not weighed down by an aging population or stagnant growth. Instead, it is fueled by youth energy and an unstoppable desire to rise. This demographic dividend is not just about numbers, it is about attitude. Young Indians are ambitious, global in their outlook, and deeply connected to technology. They are not afraid of change. They are not waiting for instructions. They are building, experimenting, failing, and trying again. This creates a culture where innovation is not limited to boardrooms or laboratories, but spreads across universities, startups, and small businesses. America once had this culture of restless ambition, but today it often finds itself caught in bureaucracy, regulation, and political struggles. India, by contrast, is hungry. Hunger creates progress. Hunger forces people to think creatively, to work harder, and to take risks that others avoid. This is where India gains its advantage. It is not simply inheriting the opportunities America leaves behind. It is actively shaping them, molding them, and adapting them to its own strengths. Technology is the sharpest example of this shift. For decades, America led the world in digital platforms, artificial intelligence, advanced manufacturing, and cloud infrastructure. But today, India is racing ahead with its own models. From the unified payments interface, UPI revolutionizing digital payments, to the explosion of homegrown unicorns in sectors like e-commerce, health tech, and fintech, India is creating its own playbook. This playbook is not a copy of Silicon Valley. It is uniquely Indian, built for scale, diversity, and resilience. And in this playbook lies the foundation of global leadership for the next era. Another area where India is stepping forward is in global supply chains. For decades, America relied heavily on its control over global trade, but its missteps in handling partnerships and policies have opened new opportunities for others. India, with its growing manufacturing capacity, strategic location, and government push for initiatives like Make in India, is becoming an attractive alternative for global companies seeking stability and scalability. Each wrong turn by America in trade relations is a step forward for India in becoming a hub of production and innovation. However, opportunities are never permanent. They are windows that open and close. India's challenge is not just to recognize this moment, but to act faster than others. Countries like Vietnam, Indonesia, and even regions in Africa are also rising. But India's size, talent, and energy give it a unique edge if it is bold enough to use it. The question is not whether America's wrong turn opens doors. It already has. The real question is whether India will step through those doors with confidence or hesitate and allow someone else to take its place. Belief and execution are what separate winners from dreamers. America became a superpower because it believed in possibilities that others thought were impossible. That belief now shows cracks. India is at the point where belief is growing stronger, but belief alone is not enough. Execution matters. Building infrastructure, nurturing startups, training talent, and creating policies that support long-term growth. All of these must come together. If they do, India will not just benefit from America's mistakes, it will redefine the rules of the game for decades to come. When great powers make decisions that do not align with the future, the balance of the world shifts in silence. What seems like a small policy change, a strategic misstep can, over time, become the very reason another nation rises to prominence. America today is taking steps that are steering it away from the momentum it once commanded, and those steps are creating space for a new leader to emerge. This shift does not happen overnight, but it is happening now, and the country most prepared to seize this opportunity is India. The story is not about America losing, but about India being ready to win when the door unexpectedly opens. America's wrong turn lies in its increasing focus on short-term gains over long-term vision. Once celebrated as a nation that looked far ahead, it now finds itself distracted by internal battles, economic cycles, and global strategies that no longer deliver the same results. This inward-looking mindset means the country is not investing the same energy into innovation, partnerships, and future technologies as it once did. As America slows, the rest of the world is not waiting, and India, with its momentum, is stepping up to occupy the empty space left behind. This is the reality of global power. If one player hesitates, another accelerates. India's acceleration is visible in many ways. The digital transformation sweeping across the country is unprecedented in scale. Hundreds of millions are connected to the internet using digital payments daily and participating in an economy that is becoming faster, smarter, and more inclusive. While other nations debate about how to regulate new technologies, India is already living in that digital first reality. The success of its payment systems, the rapid growth of e-commerce, and the spread of affordable internet access are proof that India is not just consuming technology, it is shaping how technology integrates with daily life for billions. This positions it as not just a market, but as a model for the world. Another strength India is bringing forward is the energy of its population. More than half the country is under the age of 30, and this youth is not sitting idle. They are learning coding, experimenting, and building. The hunger to create a better life for themselves and for the nation is driving innovation in ways that were once only seen in Silicon Valley. But now, the spirit of entrepreneurship is spreading from Bangalore to Delhi, from Hyderabad to smaller towns, where young people see no reason why they cannot be global leaders. This restless ambition is a resource more valuable than oil or gold because it powers every industry and every opportunity. America's mistakes in handling global supply chains, trade partnerships, and manufacturing policies are also opening doors that India can walk through. Global companies are looking for new hubs of reliability, and India's combination of scale, democracy, and talent make it one of the most attractive options. While America struggles with the costs of over-dependence and protectionist strategies, India is presenting itself as an alternative, a place where companies can build for the future and tap into both local and global demand. Each hesitation in America's strategy is a step forward in India's opportunity to become a critical link in the world's economic network. At the same time, India's reforms and government initiatives are fueling this momentum. Policies that support startups, investments in infrastructure, and programs encouraging digital inclusion are creating a foundation for long-term growth. While America questions its direction, India is laying bricks for the road ahead. This contrast matters because the future is not about who was the strongest yesterday, but about who is building today for tomorrow. Technology and innovation will define leadership in the new century, and this is where America's hesitation becomes India's advantage. Artificial intelligence, clean energy, biotechnology, and space exploration are no longer optional fields, they are the battlegrounds of the future. America once dominated these areas, but its wrong turn lies in letting bureaucracy and politics slow progress. India, on the other hand, is racing forward with startups that are hungry to solve problems and with talent that is willing to experiment without fear of failure. Every wrong turn America makes in slowing its innovation is another green light for India to move faster. But opportunity is not permanent. It is a window, and windows eventually close. The real question is not whether America is making mistakes. That much is clear. The real question is how India chooses to respond. Will it act boldly, taking risks and investing in its own future at full speed, or will it hesitate and allow the opening to narrow? The advantage lies not in watching another fall, but in being ready to rise the moment the path is clear. When a nation that has long stood as a symbol of global leadership begins to stumble, the ripple effects are felt far beyond its own borders. America's recent decisions, both in economic policy and international strategy, represent a turn away from the path that once gave it unmatched influence. These missteps are not only reshaping its own trajectory, but are also creating a unique opening for other countries to step into roles once reserved for the United States. Among all, India stands in the most favorable position to convert this moment into lasting progress. The shifts taking place today are not accidents of history, they are the results of choices, and in those choices lie opportunities for those who are prepared. America's wrong turn can be seen in its growing inward focus. Once known for bold global initiatives, it now seems preoccupied with domestic divisions and policies that prioritize immediate concerns over long-term vision. This change has consequences. When a superpower looks inward, it leaves space on the global stage for others to engage, build, and lead. International investors, innovators, and companies begin searching for alternatives that are more stable, more ambitious, and more forward-looking. India, with its young demographics, reform-oriented leadership, and digital transformation, has positioned itself as one of the few nations ready to take on this role. The rise of India is not merely a matter of timing, but also of preparation. For years, India has been investing in its digital infrastructure, building systems like Aadhaar and UPI that have connected hundreds of millions of people to formal economic networks. These initiatives have not only transformed local business, but have also impressed global observers with their scale and efficiency. At a time when America debates regulations that slow innovation, India is showing how to harness technology to empower citizens and businesses alike. This creates a sharp contrast that global markets and entrepreneurs cannot ignore. Another element of America's wrong turn lies in its relationship with the global economy. Trade wars, protectionist policies, and strained alliances have created uncertainty for partners and competitors alike. This uncertainty is a vacuum, and into that vacuum steps India. Multinational corporations are already moving parts of their supply chains to India, not only to diversify away from other regions, but also to tap into a market that is young, dynamic, and rapidly expanding. America's missteps in global trade have indirectly accelerated India's integration into global supply networks, giving it leverage that it did not have a decade ago. India's advantage also lies in the mindset of its people. A country with over 1 billion people, most of them under the age of 30, is brimming with ambition. These young people are not satisfied with just jobs. They want to build companies, create technologies, and solve problems on a global scale. Startups in India are not just imitating Western models, but are creating new ones suited for scale and diversity. the hunger to achieve, combined with the resilience to overcome obstacles, is shaping a culture that values both innovation and perseverance. In contrast, America's growing reliance on legacy systems and its resistance to adapt quickly make it appear less agile, less hungry. This is where India's energy becomes its most powerful resource. Global leadership in the future will not simply be about military might or financial dominance. It will be about solving challenges that affect billions: climate change, sustainable development, healthcare, digital equity, and energy transitions. America's wrong turn lies in treating these challenges as issues to be debated endlessly rather than opportunities to lead decisively. India, on the other hand, is beginning to approach these challenges as fields for innovation. Investments in renewable energy, advances in space technology, and a push for digital inclusion are not just domestic policies, they are steps toward global relevance. The perception of leadership is equally important as the reality of it. When nations around the world see America caught in cycles of hesitation, they begin looking elsewhere for inspiration and partnership. India's growing diplomatic presence, its role in global forums, and its ability to balance relationships with both East and West show that it is not just reacting to America's missteps, but also crafting its own narrative. This narrative matters because the world is always searching for a story of progress and possibility. And India is beginning to tell that story in a way that resonates. In every era, opportunities shift from those who hesitate to those who act. America's wrong turn is not the end of its influence, but it is a moment where the door is open wider than ever for others. India, with its youth, its ambition, its technology, and its vision, finds itself standing at that door with a chance to step into a new role in history. The choice before it is not whether the door is open, but whether it has the confidence and the courage to walk through with the speed that this moment demands.